welcome to this week's Wacky Moments of Leftist Extremism. It's the fake news Follies this week as the media's mouthpieces for the DNC had a rough, tough week. Mr. Potato Head himself, Lion Brian Stelter, is reportedly out the door at CNN as his laughingly named show, Reliable Sources, airs its final episode this Sunday.
One reason why I'm taking you seriously as a contender is because of your presence on cable news.
Oh, cable news can afford to lose more than one leftist presence, I think. But not wanting to give up on providing false information, CNN said Stelter departs CNN an impeccable broadcaster.
Lie, rinse, and repeat.
And that they were proud of what Brian and his team accomplished over the years, and we're confident that the impact and influence will long outlive the show. I am certain fake news from a biased media will outlive his program. Earlier this week, CBS anchor Norah ODonnell's loathing of Trump led her to tweet some fake news out, attempting to paint Trump as a liar for claiming the FBI took his passports, which they did. But those anonymous sources that the media relies on so heavily for fake Trump coverage, well, they told O'Donnell otherwise, it seems, leading to the entire internet to correct her for being a moron. And after Wyoming voters corrected Liz Cheney for similar intellectual lapses this week, the leftist media mourned Cheney's political future, sadly pondering who will support her.
You know, she wants to take things nationally, and I'm not exactly sure what the lane is. Part of that you can see here, her net favorability rating. That's her favorable, minus or unfavorable. Among all voters, it's at minus 10 points. It's underwater. Among Republicans, not surprisingly, it's well underwater at minus 53.
But she talked about America being a house on fire in many ways in terms of the threat to our democracy, and her being someone who wants to be part of gathering Americans to essentially put out this fire that she says is being set by Donald Trump and some of his allies. We will see. I mean, in so many ways, Liz Cheney is a person without a party. I mean, her party in many ways is the Beltway media.
Oh, ha, ha, ha. Well, the Beltway media's favorite candidate lost her primary. But the media also found time to chuckle over the name of the bill that their favorite dementia patient signed into law, the falsely named Inflation Reduction Act, that no one from the White House will say exactly how it will reduce inflation.
But if you passed a bill called the Fill Every Pothole Act, I mean, voters should expect you to fill every pothole. I mean, so should voters measure the success of this bill on how much you reduce inflation in the next couple of years?
So this bill spends out over several years.
Having the government spend this kind of money can actually result in increased inflation, but the media finds that name so funny.
And a name is just a name, but there are definitely a lot of other names you could have named this bill.
I guess the IRS agents cracking down on taxpayers' bill didn't test very well in marketing.
Well, let's start with the name of it. The Inflation Reduction Act basically speaks to what everybody's concerned with right now, kitchen table checkbook items. And so he addresses head on. You know, John, you and I often talk about how the Democrats aren't the best marketers. This is marketing branding genius.
Yes, it's marketing genius. Increase taxes, spend billions. The media loves that.
We're going to turn now to a big victory at the White House. President Biden is set to sign the massive health, climate, and tax bill into law later today. Hey, Cecilia, good morning.
Hey, Gio, good morning. Yeah, it's such a big win for President Biden. He's actually interrupting his vacation and flying back to the White House today just for this bill signing.
ABC cheering the big win and the big victory. That's some straight news reporting there, isn't it? Just loving all that spending.
As you said, it is indeed a big one. We're talking about some $740 billion overall.
But they just love Biden. And of course, leftist media love is an international language.
Y estamos a solo horas de recibir un nuevo reporte económico y todo parece indicar que viene cargado de buenas noticias. Tenemos buenas noticias que tienen que ver con la inflación, el precio de la gasolina.
Por debajo de los $4, algo que sin duda va a aliviar el bolsillo de millones de estadounidenses.
Y los precios de la gasolina siguen bajando. Hoy día les vamos a contar cuánto tiempo más podría durar esta noticia que alienta los bolsillos de todos.
Gas averaging $4 a gallon. Pockets somehow are cheered. Everything is so rosy and bright with Biden that you need to wear shades. Just ask the New York Times. Yeah, that's a actual news article. The glare of the leftist media love for all things Biden can't even be dimmed by shades. In fact, there's some certain media personalities that just parrot Biden so much that they've started talking like him this week.
He is former Deputy Assistant Director of the FBI's Counterintelligence Division.
Peter, thank you so much for being with us. There are people out there, obviously, who say we can't trust anything the FBI does. Look what Peter Strzok did, and look what happened with what was that? I can't even remember it. The
text messages.
Just all this stuff.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
In Joe Scarborough's defense, there is so much fake Russian news coming from the likes of Strzok and the FBI and the leftist media. It is really hard to keep track.
Look what happened with what was that? I can't even remember it. The
text messages.
Just all this stuff. I can't believe it said Donald Trump did horrible things in Russia. The Steele dossier. Steele dossier, which we didn't believe from the start.
Yeah, interesting that Joe claims MSNBC didn't ever believe the Steele dossier.
The Steele dossier. Steele dossier, which we didn't believe from the start.
That sounds like fake news from Joe. I remember that they just gave it tons of coverage, and they love to speculate on the dossier over at MSNBC.
I mean, I think we're just talking about a massive criminal enterprise.
It reminds us that the salacious and unverified details in the Steele dossier are eminently plausible.
Yes.
Are they? Really? Or are they as hollow as Brian Stelter's one-time hopes of President Avenatti?
One reason why I'm taking you seriously as a contender is because of your presence on cable news. I want to show a headline about this from Politico because Bill Scher wrote about this, saying you're currently leading the pack.
Fake news is always in the lead with these networks. I'm Eric Shiner from MRCTV, asking you to fight fake news by purchasing some great items at the MRC Store. Head over to MRCTV.org for the latest in news, culture, and videos. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe on the platforms that actually let you see us. We'll be back next week with another look at leftist media madness.